G'day, and welcome to the Fearless and Focused Insight series. I'm Craig Tolson. I am the co-founder of Escape Coaching. At Escape Coaching, we are personal growth coaches. We primarily work with people who have lost their clarity, purpose, direction, lost their identity due to quite significant life events such as relationship breakdowns, personal injury, various other areas that people do feel affected and they struggle. Now, quite often we all struggle in silence. It's not usually a common thing that people want to speak out. Um, we seem to bottle things up, which is not very healthy at all. It will actually escalate our struggles, escalate our mental and emotional state. Now, a little bit about me. I am a fitter and turner by trade, so I spent many, many years in the manufacturing industries. And I spent about the last 15 years of my actual working life in mining and earth moving industry as a diesel fitter. I went through a relationship, like a divorce back in the very early 2000s, which caused a lot of emotional, mental strain and stress on me. I struggled quite significantly. Then in 2017, I actually suffered a workplace injury. Now, that workplace injury was a knee injury, which turned out to be quite a life-changing event, a life-changing injury for me, because after 5 operations over 5 years, so I had one operation a year, my body is worn right out. It is not good. I have back problems, I have hip problems, and I do have a new knee, but it's still not nowhere near like the original knee would have been when I was younger. So during that time, I struggled fairly significantly, not only physically, but emotionally and mentally. I had gone through 2 years prior to that, I'd actually gone through weight loss surgery. So I'd lost a lot of weight. I lost over 60 kilo in weight. About 2 years after my injury, due to being inactive and unable to actually do much activity, I started to gain weight again. So that put a lot more mental and emotional stress on me. And I struggled a lot there too. Now, for anyone who's actually been through workplace injuries, they have their own significant area that really puts a lot of stress and struggle on you. So you've got your employer putting a lot of pressure on you to return to work. They don't care about you at the end of the day. You're just a number to them. They want the work done. They don't care how you are. They don't care if you are suffering. Then you have the work cover system in the mix, who are just the same as the employer. So this escalates your struggles, and in turn, it can actually affect your home life, your family life. So we work with people to help them get through all this, to work out ways of being able to get through it, to live with it, to understand it, realize that they can move forward, realize that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. So throughout this series, we will be interviewing various different people. There'll be business owners and there'll be non-business owners. But what everyone will have in common is they've all suffered their own form of trauma or struggles throughout their life. What they're going to offer you is different tips and tricks and strategies and advice on being able to get through things, to being able to make one day better than the day before. Now, you may resonate with some people, you may not resonate with others, but that's okay. You're not meant to resonate with everybody. If you do resonate with someone, awesome. That's fantastic. Each interview will be, at the end of each interview, there'll be, if they're a business owner, there'll be their social links and contact links there. If you feel like you want to reach out to that person, go for it. Please do, by all means. If you want to reach out to me at any time, I'm more than welcome, more than happy to talk to you. Reach out. Let's have a chat. My links and contact details will be at the end of this video. So save them or come back to them later. You know where they are. You're welcome to reach out to me at any time. So, as I say, this is to give back a bit to people. No, it's not a coaching program. It's not going to fix everything. These are just little tips and tricks to help you get through day by day, to help you pick up a little bit. So, as I said, if you want to reach out to any of us, by all means, we're all happy to talk to you. So, what I'd like to say, enjoy the series. If you have any questions at any time, feel free to reach out to me. And yeah, I hope you get some benefit from this because that's the whole idea is us giving you some benefit, some value, some little hints to help you. So, as I said, enjoy, reach out at any time, and yeah, have a great one. Righto. Rightio. So, welcome to the Fearless and Focused Insights. Now, today we have Bec from Bec D Transformations on the lovely Sunshine Coast in Queensland. How are you going, Bec?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks, Craig.
That's
It's as
okay.
cold here as it is over there.
Yes, it is a bit fresh here in southeast Queensland. It's unusual, I think. So, but anyway. All right. So, firstly, thanks very much for joining us. Now, all the fearless and focused insights, we focus a lot on more so around the silent struggles we all face throughout our day-to-day lives, whether it be in our personal life, our business life, our work life, or just everyday life in general. So now we've all faced our own fair share of struggles and trauma throughout our lives, some more than others. Some of us are brought up not to show or hide, or like not to show our emotions or to hide our emotions. Some of us hide our emotions to more so portray an image that we're strong and not weak. And a lot of us will hide our emotions from our children to save them from developing their own struggles and what have you throughout their life, their early lives. So now, Bec, I'd love for you to love to kick it off if you wouldn't mind. Just like share a little bit about your business, yourself, if you want. And yeah, we'll go from there.
Okay. So I'm Bec D from Bec D Transformation. I have a background as a registered nurse, registered general nurse, registered psychiatric nurse. I've specialized in coronary care. I've specialized in ICU. I've specialized in mental health. I've specialized in the community, in the care of cancer patients, where I first learned about modalities like Reiki and really just started helping patients back in the 1990s with
Yes.
pain, physical pain, and have always done that. Taught meditation to help them regulate their nervous systems. And I actually did rebirthing breath work back in the 1980s. So, as a psychiatric nurse, I was running meditation groups, and I've always leaned towards empowering people, educating people, and then they can make an informed choice. And what I saw happening in the medical system, I just didn't align with it. And then I had a personal experience of my mum actually having a side effect of a drug that caused a blood clot to her lung, and she died at the age of 60. And that changed my life forever. So I went down a deep rabbit hole after that. After my divorce, I suffered depression, clinical depression. I had really undiagnosed depression. I had had it since I was about 13. It just never got diagnosed because, like you already have hinted to, an adaptation that I made
Yes.
as a child was to stuff everything down, to
Yep.
actually hold everything in. So I had a lot of repressed anger, and that manifested as depression. And so through my own journey of healing, Reiki helped me a lot. Then I learned about somatic healing, and
Mm.
I learned about the trauma trapped in bodies. And I learned how to release and begin to release that trauma through Tai Chi, through Qigong, and modalities like that. I've always attempted to stay fit and healthy, eaten really well, eaten organic food. However, I had this underlying physical symptoms that were going on in my body, and was really later that I realized, oh my gosh, I've got all this trauma trapped in my body.
Yep.
And emotions are energy in motion, as we know. And what happens in the trauma cycle is our emotions get blocked. They can't flow through the energetic pathways of the body. And so when we do somatic healing, which is my specialty, we start to move this energy through the body, and it results in physical healing for the body, mental healing for the mind, emotional healing for the heart. So
Yep.
that's kind of, in a real nutshell, a little bit about me.
Yep. No, fair enough. No, that's good. It's great to hear. Now, listening to a lot of your experience, like your qualifications and that, people would be probably going, "Oh, that's like sounds very in-depth and technical," but really, it's not as bad as it sounds, does it? Like I remember years ago when I started hearing all these different modalities and that, and you think, "Oh, okay, that sounds a bit sort of far-fetched for me, or not." I don't think I'd be able to do it, but pretty much anybody can, like you could take anybody through any of them and help them on their healing journey, correct?
Absolutely. And I tend to attract people that look at my qualifications and go, wow, I want to work with you. I don't want to
Yep.
work with someone who's done a 1 day course
Yes.
and talks to me in a fluffy way.
Yes.
I want the science. I want the knowledge. I want the
Yep.
experience. I want a trauma informed therapist. I want a lived experience. I want someone who knows how I feel inside my body. So I tend to attract people that are already very educated.
Yes.
They've done work. They've been through the medical system. They know that I'm going to go through every drug that they're on. I'm going to point out all the side effects, and we're going to really nut down on those symptoms that they're
Yep.
experiencing. So I do tend to attract people that align with me,
Yes.
and that's why I get the results I get.
Yep. No, that's perfect. Yeah. Now you've you've suffered, as you touched on briefly, you've suffered your own fair share of trauma and silent struggles. Like you've struggled throughout, your life. I think everybody has. Um, some people will say they never have, but I think they're hiding that fact from themselves. But is there is there anything in particular you might like to share? If you don't, that's fine. But if there's a certain struggle or anything you might like to share, it's up to you. If you've got something you'd like to briefly share.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So after my divorce,
Yep.
really struggled because
Yep.
throughout my marriage, I had suppressed everything I felt. I didn't say the things I really needed to say. I didn't say
Yep.
the things I wanted to say. And I came out with fibromyalgia. I literally couldn't get out
Okay.
of bed one day.
Oh wow.
Body was burning. My eyes in particular used to just burn. I was so fatigued, and I was raising an 18-month-old on my
Mm,
own. So
yep.
after my marriage, it was definitely a struggle, a real journey. I'd never also struggled so much with money before.
Mm,
And so all of my money issues, all of my money trauma came up, all of my
mm,
issues around feeling alone, feeling unworthy, they all came up. The great thing was, though, that in walking that path, in feeling those feelings, in actually looking at where they came from when they
yep.
started, I realized I had all these adaptive
Yep.
persons and personalities that
Yep.
would step in and handle each situation for me, put on a brave front, which you
Mm,
talked about,
yep.
and pretend that there was nothing wrong.
Yep.
So a lot of people didn't even know about my struggles because I
Mm,
didn't have the capacity to tell people what was going on inside me. Outside, I was just this face of, yeah, everything's okay, and inside I was falling apart, hence the
mm,
fibromyalgia, the
yep.
depression, the sadness. I used to just cry myself to sleep. So a lot of people may not realize that this is happening for them.
Yep.
And as you said, a lot of people think, oh, I'm fine. But the thing is that we all have trauma. And if you do any research at all, we're so blessed
Mm,
today compared to when I started this work in 1980s. We have so many doctors and
mm,
scientists out there now talking about trauma and how it affects the body. We
yep.
have people saying that everyone has trauma on some level or another. It's either precognitive, it's postcognitive, it's developmental trauma, it's sometimes physical trauma,
Yep.
sexual abuse, sometimes it's collective trauma.
Yep.
So, you know, um, there's just so much going on. And I
Mm,
think if people are struggling in their lives, trauma is usually at the bottom of it.
yep.
And with a bit of guidance, they can really change it around for
Mm.
themselves.
That's it. I think apart from the fact that, like, in years gone by, it was common practice, like, for our parents, and this is no disrespect to our parents and their parents and going back, but we were all taught to suck it up. Just cop it on the chin. Have broad shoulders, especially males. We were told it was you just keep it to yourself. You don't speak about your problems, and that, which does cause a lot of, as you said, a lot of underlying health problems from basically bottling it all up inside. But well, as you've touched on, by recognizing that you have some issues and you needed help and getting it resolved, and even myself, I found that it's like a massive weight lifted off your shoulders when you do that. You do speak to someone and you go through a process of fixing the problem or getting to the root cause of the problems and helping you get through and go move forward. Uh, mm,
Absolutely. Yeah. I've got photos from when I was 48. I turned 62 in December. I
yep.
look younger now than I did then.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm still battling, all of
Yep.
this trauma inside me
Yes.
and not allowing my emotions to
Mm,
flow,
yeah.
And so I was quite blocked in all of my chakras.
Mm,
And so that energy, just allowing that energy to flow has
yep.
actually, I'm fitter, I'm stronger, I'm
Yep.
healthier than I've ever been. Even though back then I was doing all the organic eating, I was doing all the
Yep.
exercise, inside me was still this big
Yep.
mess of emotion that I
Yeah.
had not really processed
Yes.
or
No.
acknowledged. And then when I started doing this work, I just recovered so quickly
Yep.
in my mind. And so it is possible. I just want to
Mm,
say that to anyone watching. It really is possible. You just
mm,
really need to find someone you align with
yep.
and just really allow yourself
Yep.
a luxury. It's a luxury to actually allow yourself to feel. And as you've talked about, Craig, I feel like society's done a real number on men with
Hmm.
toughen up, don't be a
Yep.
sissy, all of that in our generation growing up,
Yes. Yep.
and I feel like men are so underestimated and
Hmm.
undervalued in our society for the
Yep.
roles that they play and the roles they're expected to play. And of
Absolutely.
course, unfortunately, the sickness model that we have is to give him a pill, give her a
Yep.
pill. It'll make it all better. Little
Hmm.
do people know that it actually suppresses the symptoms and
Yep.
it creates more symptoms, which you need another pill for. So,
Yep.
and I've seen this. I've
Yep.
literally gone into patients who are on a multiple number of
Hmm.
medications, 12 medications sometimes in a
Wow.
day, and they're all having side effects with each other, and they
Yes.
wonder why they never get well.
Yep.
So it really is a minefield, and the work
Mm.
that we do is really opening the door for a lot of people
Yep.
to explore what's inside them, what's trapped inside them.
Absolutely. And just on that, like when you say the medication side of it, I've experienced that myself in the past, been on medication uh, because a lot of practitioners are very quick. I find they're very quick these days to here, write out a prescription, here, take this.
Yes,
And
because there's
on,
kickback in the pharmaceutical
oh,
company.
absolutely, absolutely. Some people say there's not, but there's got to be.
I was a
But
nurse for a long time. Trust me, there
yeah.
are.
So, but like I know once I actually, before I got deep into my NLP training, that I actually got decided one day I'm not taking pills anymore. And even from that day forward, I just felt a lot better in myself. Like they bring you down. They, as you said, that keeps everything suppressed, which is not good in the end. So,
Yeah,
hmm.
yeah.
Now, do you believe that we ever heal from our struggles and trauma? This is
That,
a bit of a, yeah, like
that's a curly question
it
because we
is.
have to delve into some woo-woo shit for that.
Like
So,
just as an overall, like
uh,
because some people will think, oh, I guess where I'm going with this is, some people will think, okay, if I go and work with somebody who specializes in like resolving trauma or things, but then down the track they feel as if they've got something there still. Like, do you think that like they're probably getting the wrong like they've got the wrong picture in their mind that they can, it's like taking the magic pill, all of a sudden everything's fixed and gone.
done
Yeah,
and dusted.
yeah,
I'm done now. I'd like to go back to something I said. We have
Yep.
precognitive trauma, so we
Yep.
pick up everything in the womb of the
Hmm.
parents and
Yep.
the environment around our parents while we're in the womb. This has been
Yep.
proven scientifically.
Hmm.
You can go look it up. Then there's birth, right? The trauma
Yes.
of actually being born.
Yep.
Many people of our generation have
Mm.
been pulled out with forceps,
Yep.
forcibly removed from the womb.
Yes.
How traumatic is that?
Yep.
Then men are put on a board, no anesthetic, and their foreskin's cut off.
Hmm.
What kind of trauma do you think that creates?
Oh yeah.
Nobody looks at that.
Mm.
Then we're brought up in families who don't, God bless them, don't know any of this, don't know anything
Mm.
about their own trauma, let alone our generation. Our parents didn't really talk about this stuff.
Mm.
It was like, come on, get better. When I was
Yep.
crying all day when my parents came to visit us in Queensland from South Australia, I was told, come on, get out of bed. Come on, snap yourself out of it.
Mm.
There was no recognition that
Yep.
I actually was really struggling
Yep.
to just function, let
Mm.
alone, and the sadness was just
Mm.
overwhelming inside me. Not their problem, not their
Mm.
fault. I don't hold a single thing against my parents because
Mm.
I realize that they did the best they could with the knowledge that they had. What
Yes.
our generation is doing is breaking that generational trauma. We're actually
Yep.
breaking that generational
Mm.
trauma by exploring these
Yes.
ways of healing.
Yep.
So we're introducing into our family line forward a new perspective, a
Mm.
new way of looking at things. So
Yep.
we're changing something in the timeline of our family
Yep.
line. So it's groundbreaking work. It's like
Mm.
when someone discovers a brand new meteor or something like that.
Mm.
It's groundbreaking work on that level.
Mm.
So I believe that there are multiple layers of
Yep.
trauma because, then we go to school and then
Mm.
we receive messages of maybe we're not good enough, or
Yep.
maybe like me, I got praised for getting good marks. So
Mm.
I got good marks because it was the only place where I got some recognition of being
Okay.
anything of worth. In
Yep.
my home, I wasn't worth anything
Mm.
because I was born into a culture that appreciated boys and girls were
Yep.
nothing.
Yep.
So there are layers to it.
Mm.
And we go to high school, and let's face it, that's a rite of passage, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Yep.
You either fit or you don't fit. And there's a
That's it.
whole trauma with that. And
Yeah.
then we go into the workplace, and,
That's it.
everyone has the best boss in the
Hmm.
workplace. So there's a heap
Yep.
of trauma with that. And you might have a
Yep.
great boss, but they
Yep.
might be co-workers. Do you know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yeah.
And then there's life,
Yeah.
and then there's life, and the great big, cultural trauma
Mm.
that we've been through,
Yep.
and also the worldwide traumas that we go
Mm.
through. So there's fear on every level,
Yep.
and so we're right back to your question, really making sense. Do we ever heal?
Yep.
Well, my belief and opinion and experience is there are layers. But
Yes.
however, I'm aware that, if you've ever heard of spiral dynamics, right? What happens when we do like that
Mm.
low level, precognitive healing, that
Mm.
developmental healing, age 1 to 7,
Yep.
where all the
Yep.
programming happens. I believe we develop a certain level of coherence in our body.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
I believe that healing is actually in a spiral, it's not
Yep.
linear.
No.
So when we heal, we go up. But then if another layer presents itself,
Mm.
like if another trigger comes from
Yes.
my high school,
Mm.
I will spiral back down, but I'll never
Yep.
go to my base level again
No.
because that is healed. It's kind
Mm.
of like, when you build, when builders build a high story
Yes.
building, they build the first floor, put the
Mm.
foundations in, but before they put the second level on, because the
Mm.
foundations have to carry the weight now of a second level, they
Mm.
have to come and reinforce the foundation.
Yep.
And then again with the third level, they've got to come back and reinforce the foundation yet
Yep.
again to take a third level. It's kind
Yep.
of like that. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah. No, I think it does. It does to me. I like working, doing work and study in that sort of area. I do understand it. Um, I often actually say to people, refer it to. It's not like you can not like if you've got a problem with your car and you go get a new part put in and it's all good and it's like new again. We're not like that. As you said, you put it in a good way. There's layers.
Yeah.
You've
Yeah.
got to get your way through those layers. And when you mention, yeah, like there's a trigger point and you start spiraling down, instead of going all the way to the bottom, I believe we learn to recognize the signs that might be spiraling down again, and we can actually then do the work to start turning it around to go back up the spiral. So I think,
And I
yeah,
think that's the benefit of working
yep,
with someone like you or me is we actually
mm,
give people skills, we actually give them
yes,
tools
yes,
and we empower them. I believe education is empowerment.
hmm,
So when you get yourself educated about this kind of stuff,
mm,
you're empowered. You're empowered
yes,
to actually navigate those little
yeah,
spirals down, those
yes,
triggers. You've got some tools when you work with coaches,
mm,
you know, so it's never as dark as
mm,
when perhaps first you think,
yep,
oh, gee, I'd really like to get some help.
yeah,
I'm not doing, you can do it on your own for so long. I did it on my own for so long, and
yep,
then it was like, no, no, no,
yep,
I really need to get some help here.
yes,
I've
yeah,
gone as far as I can go,
yep,
and I need to, yeah, level
yeah.
up.
That's it. Um, how do you manage, or how like what strategies or techniques would you use to manage the moments that no one sees, like those ones behind closed doors, like for
Well,
yourself?
originally, I
Yep.
would go get a bottle of wine. That was my management. It's
Yes.
like, I just want to be numb. I don't want to feel
Yep.
this anymore. Let me drink
Yep.
until I'm numb.
Yep.
Um, Now I have tools like I have breath work, I have
Yep.
meditation, I have podcasts that I
Yep.
follow. There's always something I can turn
Yes.
to. I have my own YouTube channel with my
Yep.
own affirmation lists, my own
Hmm.
meditations. There's always something I can turn to. I have this huge toolkit now.
Yes. Yep.
And just breath. I just find breathing and just
Mm.
relaxing that nervous system, coming
Mm.
out of the sympathetic nervous system
Mm.
into the parasympathetic, just gives me that space to have
Mm.
some logical conversation with myself, some peaceful
Yep.
conversation with myself. I also am really connected to my creator. So when
Mm.
I meditate, I become one with my creator, which gives me joy and bliss, and it recalibrates me. So I'm always returning to homeostasis, always returning to that point of balance.
Yep.
So that's what I seek. Now that I understand where that is for me, it's different for everyone.
Mm.
Where that is for me and which tool works best for me, that's what I align
Yep.
to.
No, perfect. That's good. Um, okay, so I've got what I've got now. I've just what I want to bring into these is just a little bit of a fast-paced little thing, which I'm going to call a rapid fire segment. So I've got a series of questions. I'm just going to throw these at you, and first thing comes to mind,
Very
we'll
good.
run with that. Just to yeah, something a little bit different. So okay, so no time frame. It's all good. So just yeah.
Oh no, I'm
So
taking a centering breath.
um, that's all good. Okay, first one. Hardest truth you've had to face.
Hardest truth I've had to face is what a saboteur I am to myself.
Cool. Next one. A song, quote, phrase, or a saying that got you through some tough times.
Song quote. Oh, okay.
If nothing comes to mind, that's cool.
Something I watched last night. I
Yep.
watched it. I grew up with it,
Yep.
playing at discos, and then I watched their rendition, the same band do a rendition like recently, and they'd slowed it right down, taken it out of the disco beat.
Yep.
But it went like take, I'm not a great singer, right? Take me on, I'll be gone. Do 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 do. And it just what that did for me is
Yep.
like I'm taking me on,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And I'm asking me to take me on and believe in myself. And
Yep.
if I believe in myself, I don't have to look for validation outside me, right? And that is like a mantra. It's like take me on now.
Yep.
And be with me now, and I can get through this because I've got through so much already.
Yep. Awesome. Awesome. Biggest misconception about you?
Biggest misconception about me, gosh, feel like I need to ask someone else about that. That I've always got it together,
Yep.
and I find a lot of people never ask me how I am
Hmm.
because I'm a
That.
good listener,
Yep.
and they'll tell me all about themselves, all about their
Yep.
families. Very rarely when anyone asks me how are you, Bec?
Mm-hmm.
Happening in your
Absolutely. Yep. You're spot on right there with that. No one asking how you are. Not many people do. Okay. A daily non-negotiable that keeps you moving forward.
daily non-negotiable, my time, my meditation time in the
Yep.
morning, my meditation time before night. I might skip breath work, but meditation is my zen. It's my version of popping a pill for pain relief, for sleep, for everything.
Oh, fantastic. No, next, a word that describes your lowest point.
Lowest point, darkness,
Hmm.
purity, fear.
Yep. A word
Sorry,
that
three words.
that's all right. No, that's fine. That's fine. A word that describes your breakthrough.
Empowerment,
Fantastic. A word that describes who you are now.
powerful.
Love it. What do you tell your inner critic? Because we've all got one of them.
You're doing it again. You're not that bad. You too can get through this, and this too shall pass.
Brilliant. Love it. Love it. Okay, a quote or phrase or saying that grounds you.
Quote or saying or phrase that grounds me. I've got this. I've done this before. I'm here and I'm free.
Okay, and last one there. What's one thing you no longer apologize for?
Being me, being
Love it.
authentic.
Love it. That's brilliant. Love it. All right, now that's good. So, okay, now I've just got one last question. What would you say to anyone who's listening or watching this right now who feels completely lost or broken and is struggling in silence?
Try meditation, try some breath work. It's free on YouTube. Obviously, I'm going to say reach out to someone you align with, ask for some help, get some coaching, and, start to really be held. Start to really reach out to be held and to be nurtured through your healing journey. Otherwise, there's so much on YouTube. Instead of watching Netflix, instead of watching the news, especially, which is just fear porn, get onto YouTube and seek out these doctors, Dr. Gabor Mate, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Dr. Bruce Lipton. They're just sharing so much information for free that can really help you break down what's happening for you. Kyle Cease is another guy. He used to be a comedian and he's turned to this amazing life coach. And they're all on YouTube. They're amazing. They have so much insight. There's a lot of podcast channels as well that you can turn to. There's so much out there. Don't be alone with your sorrow. Don't be alone with your grief. Reach out, reach out, reach out.
Love it. Love it. All right. Well, thank you very much for that, Beck. Very insightful, very informative, and I loved it. Loved your attitude.
Thank
So,
you.
just one last thing for everyone. If you want to reach out to Beck, by all means, I will drop all her links in wherever this is posted. And if you want to reach out to me, you know where you can find me. But yes, so thank you very much, Beck. Really appreciate you jumping on and taking the time out of your day.
No worries, Craig. And obviously, when we share this across our
Yep.
platform, my viewers will know who I am.
Yep.
Want to just give yourself a quick intro and just let us know where my viewers can find you. Obviously, I'll put your links in as well.
Yep.
Just a quick little who is
Okay.
Craig? What does he
Yep.
do?
Not a problem at all. So, okay, so I'm Craig Tolson. I am the founder of Escape Coaching. Now, we are personal growth coaching, and we deal with people who have basically lost their way, lost their identity due to life-changing or life-altering circumstances. So, such as injury, relationship breakdowns, and that. So, Pretty much the easiest way is finding us at escapecoaching.com.au, but which will have links to all our socials and all that. So yeah,
Beautiful.
fantastic. Thank you.
And
All right then, Beck.
you work with both men and women?
Both men and women, yes, yes. Primarily men because I can relate to men a lot more, but I do work with women as well. So I do resonate with women as well. So yeah, so not a problem at all. All right. Thank you very much for your time, Beck. Really appreciate it.
Oh, thanks so much, Craig. Bye for now.
See ya.